Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday, or good afternoon, I should say. The day is flying past. I'm Joe. This is Pikket with Joe. We're going to go over all of these 6 games on the ice today. I'm excited, and I want to thank everyone for being here. If you're over on YouTube, make sure you drop that like and subscribe. Help me out. I appreciate it. If you're watching from anywhere else, and if you want to come in on the live chat, definitely head on over to YouTube and let's talk. Let's talk all of these games, you guys. I want to give a big shout out to everyone here. It is the Chargers did win it on the money line. I got my hat. I was wearing it earlier. I don't know. My head expands during the day, you guys. It's an issue for me, so my hat can't be on anymore. I'm tired of wearing it, but definitely victory Monday for those Chargers. Shout out to Ben. I hope you guys all had an absolutely fantastic weekend. Appreciate you guys. Each and every one of you. You guys are here every day with me, so I love it. Okay, we're going to talk about those Rangers in a couple of seconds. But first, we're going to talk about the first game on the board at 7 o'clock Eastern. Kicks off the game between the Calgary Flames and the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Montreal coming in here as a large underdog, although they've won the last 4 games versus the Calgary Flames. Now, Calgary coming in here off another loss. This Calgary team is reeling at the moment. They've had so many inconsistencies, especially offensively, not able to get anything done. Now, we saw Daryl Sutter's frustration after the Lightning were able to get that win in their last game. Him kind of blaming the refs there. They took 7 penalties in that game. There was one that was questionable. Watching the game with a drink in hand, I was with Daryl Sutter, but after going back and watching it, Calgary's just making stupid penalties left, right, and center, and they need to clean things up. Now, Calgary's going to be frustrated coming into this, and I expect these penalties to come in again. With Montreal, they're not really going to capitalize. They're not going to have that much of a benefit here if Calgary does spend some time in the box, not like we saw with the it wasn't the Lightning. It was the Toronto Maple Leafs. Don't know what I'm talking about at the moment, but they're not going to see the same sort of thing. So we know the Leafs power play is just so much stronger. But we can't get past the fact that Montreal has always played the Calgary Flames so hard. Now, they're off a loss to the Kings, 4-2. Anyone who was riding the Kings with me on that puck line, I tell you, when that puck went down the ice for that empty netter, it looked like it was going to stop just short of the goal. I was sweating that one out on Saturday night as well, but we did get that puck line cover. Anyone who took them in regulations, you still made some about even money on that game. So it definitely was a good one. Looking at this one here with this total at 6, I do believe we've got Jacob Markstrom and Jake Allen in. You got to look at the under for this game. I think both of these goaltenders are going to have phenomenal ones. We know Jake Allen had an absolutely phenomenal one when in Calgary, and he will be the reason this team, this Montreal Canadiens team, can keep this tight. We know Calgary at any point could explode offensively. I just can't trust them here on the road. 3-6, 2-1. On the road so far this season. Now, Jacob Markstrom, with him being expected, it kind of worries me. I wish Dan Vladar was expected here. I do trust in him a lot more. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. But the last 2 games have been decided within a goal. So I think grabbing Montreal plus 1.5, you can get it around minus 135. Again, I encourage you guys to go shop those lines over at Betstamp. Use referral code Madden. Always get your best lines because there's some like minus 140s out there. You don't want to get it at minus 140. You can get it at minus 135. It definitely is worth it here. Now, Calgary could come out and just completely dominate in this game off that loss and be frustrated, take their frustrations out of Montreal. But I just look at how Montreal has played Calgary, and I think this is another situation where Daryl Sutter is going to be screaming at this team by the end of it. I'm sprinkling a little bit on Montreal on the money line, completely fading my team here. I don't trust them. Montreal going to be frustrated after losing that game 4-2 to the Kings. And what I love about Montreal is they didn't give up in that game. The Kings got up early in that one, and Montreal kept digging in there. So I definitely think there's value on the Canadiens here, value on them on the puck line. I love it that you're with me on the Canadiens. I just can't get behind Calgary with their inconsistencies at the moment. So it's really hurting. Alberta, Stevie is freezing. I let the dogs outside and it was like minus 18 this morning when getting up. So it's not beautiful out here in Alberta. We're going to get to the Dallas Stars in just a minute. Actually, that's the game we're moving on to. So I see you're grabbing them here on the money line. Now the Dallas Stars coming in here at plus 106 on that money line. Minus 128 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now the Stars plus 106. I just am repeating myself with the total 6.5. You guys, it's Monday. Can you guys all feel it's Monday? I'm absolutely frozen today. My hands feel like ice cubes. I've actually just been holding on to a coffee cup for dear life when I haven't been typing on my computer today. It is a cold December right now. Now, we've seen the Dallas Stars. They've won their last 2 games. Both have been in overtime. I think we're going to see a little bit of tired legs. I'm not sure if this is why we're looking at a line like we are seeing here with the Dallas Stars at plus 108. Because those 2 overtime games is going to show wear on the Stars. Now, the Stars are a phenomenal team sitting second in the Central Division right now. Now, the Pittsburgh Penguins, Tristan Jarry expected to start for them. He's got a 2.76 goals against average. Both these teams are racking up the goals, both playing so strong offensively. Pittsburgh Penguins, in their last 5 games, they've won all 5 of those games, and they've scored 21 goals in those games. Sidney Crosby has been playing phenomenal this season. I'm going to look at him, of the Pittsburgh Penguins, for an anytime goal. You're getting that at plus 160, and I think there is so much value they're hitting him for that anytime goal. Now, as for a side, I see some of you guys wanting to grab Dallas here on that money line, and I hate to go against Dallas here with that plus money, as you don't really get Dallas a lot with that plus money. Jake Ottinger expected for them as well, but I can't get behind them because when we look at them versus teams with winning records, they've only won 1 of the last 6 meetings versus teams with winning records, and this Penguins team is playing their best hockey so far of the season. I think they're just rolling too hot for me to step in front of them at the moment. Both of these defenses have been playing strong as well. And the Penguins coming in on that 1 day's rest. They've won their last 6 games. On that 1 day's rest, they've won their last 6 versus the Western Conference, and they've won their last 4 at home. When I'm looking at a total for this game, I got to hit the under 6.5. I think this total is too high because between Jarry and Ottinger, we got phenomenal goaltending. We also have defenses that, while they're allowing these shots to come in, especially the Penguins, these numbers are low for the goals against the defenses, with 2.96 for the Penguins and 2.82 for the Dallas Stars. So while these 2 teams have explosive offenses that are hard to control, I do think this is one where we can rely on those goaltenders. So we do have both of these goalies confirmed. So I was looking at their save shots on goal. Ottinger tonight, if you like him, you can get him over the 29.5. So if you're liking Dallas, this is something you'd probably look at. For myself, I'm liking the Penguins to come out here. I'm looking at Tristan Jarry to come out and stand on his head. The only way that the Penguins win this is if Jarry has a phenomenal one. So I'm banking on him for his over 30.5 save shots on goal. That's coming in at minus 112. It's something that I definitely will be betting in this one. Yeah, the Jets on the weekend. Anthony, if you watched that game, the complete fall apart of the Jets was in that second period. They went scoreless into that second period, and the Capitals able to get those 4 goals. Now, Connor Hellebuck was pulled at the end, and that empty netter, that 5th goal came by the way of an empty netter. The game was actually closer than it looks when you first look at it. It was that second period that the Jets completely fell apart. I don't know. Some of these games, they don't feel right when you look at them. It was not good to see. Okay, let's look at the next game on the board. Like I said, only 6 games on the board today, you guys. It's Monday. We've had some lighter Mondays than this, but I'm glad it's not a 10 game one today. We got the New Jersey Devils taking on the New York Rangers, 7 o'clock Eastern, total of 6. I tell you, between the Devils and the Dallas Stars, the value we're getting on these teams, betting them today, it just can't get there though. The New Jersey Devils at -111, got the New York Rangers at -108. The Rangers have won their last 3 games. Last one over the Habs in a shootout. It was a 2-1 win for the New York Rangers. They're rested coming in here. They're really playing solid hockey. The New Jersey Devils lost to the Islanders at home. It was a 6-4 loss there. They just let the Islanders skate all over them. Now, this is a one-off road trip. They're home Tuesday for the next 3 games. I think this is a kind of bad scheduling situation. I think if you're looking for a side, I would lean here on the Rangers. I don't want to step in front of the Devils, though. Devils are so strong on both sides of the puck. They're winning the face-off battles. Their defense is absolutely phenomenal. Vanek expected here for them. He's got a 2.3 goals against average. And Igor expected for the Rangers, who has been playing better hockey as of late with a 2.5. I think the best way to take this is to hit this under. I know the offensive firepower of both of these teams, but if the Rangers are to control this one, they can't outshoot the New Jersey Devils. They have to come out with a super strong defense. Igor has to be incredible for the Rangers to pull off this win. It's going to be rocking in the Garden. I think this is a hard-hitting, heavy-swinging kind of game. Devils just so strong on the road, too. I don't want to step in front of this team. Won their last 11 on the road here. And you're right. The Rangers are too streaky, Jason, and that's why I have to in this one. I have to take the under. It just seems like a great way to take it. And this under will know if it's done in that first period, because if both these teams come out just flying out of the gate, we get 3 goals in that first period, the under is completely done. I'm hoping for a really tight, solid first period for sure. Okay, picks from Dave is in. You guys, if you do not follow picks from Dave, go give him a pick. He's leaning on Oilers on the money line, Skinner and Net, and the Wild stink. The Wild don't stink, Dave. They just got the win. No, Edmonton just got the win. Okay, they got the win over the Canucks, though, Dave. Come on. Edmonton stinks. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to look at the under in this one. The under 6 for this game. I wish it was a 6.5. These two teams, when they do play each other, trend to that over, but I'm going against that. The Devils are 5-2 in their last 7, playing on 2 days rest to the under. They're also 5-1 in their last 6 road games to that under. And the Rangers versus the Eastern Conference trending nicely to that under as well. Hate going on unders. 12-4 in their last 16 to that under. So give me the under here. The Devils have covered the puck line in each of their last 9 games against opponents on winning streaks. Now, if you like the Devils, that might be one way to look at it, but we also look at the New York Rangers covering that puck line as an underdog following a win in their last, or an overtime win in their last 8. So I think there's good trends for both of these teams. Just give me the total here. I don't want to step in front of the New Jersey Devils, but I think there's a lot of indicators pointing to why you take the Rangers tonight. The next game on the board, we have the Anaheim Ducks taking on the Ottawa Senators. Probably one of those games that isn't the most exciting on the board tonight. Forsberg expected here for the Ottawa Senators. He's got a 3.25 goals against average. And John Gibson expected for the Anaheim Ducks. Now he has a 3.99. Looking at this, we haven't seen the offensive production, especially out of the Ducks. They're off that loss to the Sharks. It was a 6-1 loss. That was a don't bet me kind of game. The Sharks kept up that trend of that first period domination, so we're able to get that first period win again in Anaheim. I can't remember how many it's at now, but we took the first period in that one. It was the only thing I really liked. The Senators here, they're off a win over the Preds. It was a 3-2 win on Saturday. If I had to take a side in this one, I don't think the Ducks are quacking. It's got to be the Senators. Now they're coming in at -225. No one in their right mind is going to pay that for the Senators. The Ducks at +184. Question is, can the Senators cover the puck line here? 7-7 on that puck line at home this season. The Ducks 6-10 on the puck line. I lean on the puck line with Forsberg in goal for the Senators. We know this team is so strong offensively. It's our defense that's been letting them down. They've got a strong power play as well. They're averaging that 3.07 goals per game and 33.7 shots on goal. And with the Ducks allowing 4.21, yes, 4.21 goals per game and 37.5 shots on goal, I think this is a nice one for the Senators to go over their team total. Their team total is at 3.5. You could hit that there. You're paying a bit of juice, -125 to -128. Again, shop those lines over at Betstamp. Use referral code Madden. Get your best value. Now, the Senators come in on 1 day's rest. They're 4-1 in their last 5 games on that 1 day's rest. They're also, when they face teams with winning records below or percentages below 400, they've won 6 of those last 8. So look for the Senators to really come out nicely here. I'd look at Brady Tkachuk to have a good game. There's a lot of players here that you could look at for the Senators. Yeah, Rick, I see that stat of the Senators on those Monday games. I don't know if I can buy into a Monday versus a Thursday game. I think you got to look at a bunch, but if that's what you're liking there, totally see your reasoning behind it. Some of these guys out partying. My whole family was joking that Calgary lost because Johnny Hockey took everyone out the night before to go party in Columbus and he didn't drink. Johnny was kind of known for that when he was here in Calgary. He'd take the team out, everyone else would have drinks, and he really didn't. So it might have been what happened to the Calgary in Columbus that time. I don't know, just rumors. Rumors flying, but yeah, for me, I'd take the Senators here. Their team total over 3.5. It's all I could do. We know the Ducks give up these points. We got 2 more games left to talk, you guys. We've got the Edmonton Oilers and the Minnesota Wild. Now, we just saw this game on Friday, and Edmonton got the win. It was a 5-2 win for Edmonton. They just steamrolled over the Wild. Now, Skinner expected in goal tonight. He's got a 2.81 goals against average, and Marc-Andre Fleury for the Wild. He's got a 3.16. Right away, you guys know I am looking at the over in this one. And we really can't trust the defense of either of these teams. 3.46 goals against average for the Edmonton Oilers and Minnesota Wild, 3.07. Now, the Wild are taking way too many penalties. I can't trust them to not stay in the box. They're always in that box. They're averaging, which is the most of any team in the league, 12.8 minutes in the box per game. With Edmonton's phenomenal power play, that is really going to hurt the Wild if they do it here again tonight. We saw it on Friday. The Wild need to clean up their game. Now, Edmonton hasn't played since that game on Friday. They're coming into this one rested. Wow. We saw the Wild have to play the Vancouver Canucks. They got a beautiful win, though. They got the shutout win 3-0 over the Vancouver Canucks. That was on Saturday. So this is going to be an interesting game. Lots of people expecting the Wild to get the win here. I could see it. And like Gil saying, who wants to trust Deadmonton? We don't like Deadmonton, you guys. Deadmonton it is for sure. So when we look at this one, you know, Edmonton, they won on their home ice. Lots of people expecting the Wild to get that sudden revenge. I could see the Wild playing a really solid game here, but this is going to come down to how many penalties this team takes, because if they're in the box, Edmonton is going to capitalize on this and score. Now, the Wild, off a road trip of 7 days or more, are 4-1 in their last 5 games following that road trip. So they do play strong. They're one of those teams we don't fade off that road trip. I'm going to look at the over 6.5 for this. I think this is a coin flip. I think it's a lot tighter of a game than we saw in Edmonton on Friday. Edmonton, I just can't trust their defense. They are sitting 4th in the Pacific right now. When the Wild have been a favorite, they have won their last 5 games versus Edmonton as well. So give me the over 6.5. I'm going to look at that first period. I think we see the goals rolling in that first period. I want to take the over 1.5. It's too highly juiced. It's like -170 or something. You can take it up to 2. Over 2, you might get that push. What I like better is taking both teams to score in that first period, because I'm pretty confident in both of these defenses allowing these goals to come in early. It's plus 135 for those both teams to score in the first period. So I do like that. If you're looking for a goal scorer for the Minnesota Wild, I'm going to look at Kaprizov. I loved what I saw out of him in that game on Friday. He had 6 shots on goal. He wasn't able to get a goal. For him to get a goal tonight is plus 110 for that anytime goal. He's had 115 shots on goal this season and 17 goals. I think he comes out nicely. It lands one early on Skinner. I might even take him for that first goal scorer as well. I love we're thinking the same thing with Kaprizov here. He is just a phenomenal young player out there on the ice. So when I'm looking at this, I lean on the Wild on home ice to get the win. When I'm looking at the last time these teams played just on Friday, how many shots on goal Edmonton was able to put up was 38, I believe, and the Wild got something like 44. So I'm going to look at Fleury's save shots on goal because he is confirmed here. It's 27.5 save shots on goal. I'm going to hit it over at minus 112. We know Edmonton put up that 38 in the last one, and they are averaging that 32 shots on goal per game. And we have the Wild allowing, I can't talk today, you guys, 30.2. So I think this is a perfect situation to expect Edmonton to get those shots again on goal tonight. This 27.5 seems super low. I don't see Edmonton not firing away. And when we've got this total of 6.5, I can't expect Edmonton to get more than 3 or 4 goals. So I think Edmonton has at least 35, 36 shots on goal. It's very similar performance to what we saw on Friday. I just don't think that they pull off the win. I think we see the Minnesota Wild's offense clicking more of those goals in the back of the net, because we did see them getting the production, getting the shots on goal. We just didn't see those goals sinking in that back of the net. So I'm going to lean the Wild. The more I talk about, the more I like the Wild here on that money line at minus 126. Give me the over 6.5, though. I think that's the best way to take that. The Oilers trend nicely to that over on 2 days rest, going 4-1-1 in their last 6 games, playing on 2 days rest. Strong to the over versus the Western Conference, with their last 5 games going to that over. And the Wild 5-0 in their last 5 games to the over versus winning record teams. So I think we got a nice over here. We will get to the Predators game. We're going to get to it right now. This is going to be a really interesting game between the Predators and the St. Louis Blues. Now, the Preds coming in here at minus 111, the St. Louis Blues at minus 108. We got a total of 6.5. I do expect this one to be a higher scoring one, the over 6.5. I do expect the Predators to put up their share of the goals in this one. The Predators have not been getting these goals, only averaging that 2.6, but I'm looking for a better night out of them. Thomas Greiss expected for the St. Louis Blues. He's got a 3.69 goals against average. I think we can count on the Preds to get over that to answer that question for you. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. So give me the over 6.5. I don't want to trust the St. Louis Blues at home here. Both of these teams have lost their last 2 games. This is one where when we've seen the Blues a home favorite, they're not really a home favorite. This is pretty even. Minus 111, minus 108 is on my one book. I've got minus 110s on other books. So again, shop those lines over at Betstamp, depending which way you want to go with this one. Now, the last 4 games as a favorite following overtime, we have seen the St. Louis Blues cover that puck line, but again, no value here on the puck line as a dog. If you take them on the puck line as a favorite, I don't know if I could trust it. I think the Predators, in my opinion, with Saros expected in goal here, are the better team. He's got a 3.05 goals against average. This game, I'm not loving, you guys. Blues have lost each of their last 6 home games against the Central Division opponents. So I think this one I'd give to the Preds. I can't get behind the Blues, but I think the best way to take this is the over 6.5. And I agree with you. Both teams probably get 3 apiece. This one goes to overtime. I don't trust either of these teams defensively and offensively. They've been able to get the goals. I think the Predators will start to get moving here. This is a one-off road trip for them, though. I hate the scheduling spot where they're at home. They go on the road for one game and then are back home. I think it's a perfect storm brewing for a loss, but against the Blues, who are completely inconsistent, I can't buy it. So, yeah, I would take the Preds over the 3. Okay, guys, let's do a recap. Let's build a parlay. I'm sorry if I missed anyone's questions here, just looking at them. Okay, we are good. Let's do this recap. Okay. My dog, can you hear my dog snoring, you guys? Yes. So my monitor is here, right? And then I can see him straight under there. He's laying in a big green chair in the corner, you know, like one of those bucket chairs. That is his. And he is storing up a storm. So my apologies. Me talking puts him to sleep because he knows if he barks, he gets kicked out of my studio. So he just goes to sleep. Okay. Let's go. Recap time. The Calgary Flames versus the Montreal Canadiens. I have to fade Calgary here. While they might get the win, I don't see them blowing out Montreal. Calgary's just been too inconsistent. So give me the Montreal Canadiens plus 1.5 on that puck line at minus 135. I'm going to sprinkle on that money line and give me the under 6. For the parlay, I'm going to put Calgary and Montreal under. And you guys, I will recap this at the end. The Dallas Stars, hang on just 1 second. The Dallas Stars and the Pittsburgh Penguins here. I think look for Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins to get an anytime goal. That's at plus 160. I'm going to lean on the Pittsburgh Penguins here on the money line as well. I think they get the win here on home ice. Tristan Jarry over 30.5. Save shots on goal at minus 112. I love tonight as well. If you like Ottinger, his number sitting at 29.5. You could hit that over. Both these teams are racking up these shots on goal, but I trust Tristan Jarry more so in this game here. I also like the under 6.5 in this one. I'm going to take the under 6.5 for the parlay. Okay. The next game on the board, we have the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers. The Rangers are hot and rested, so I understand if you want to take the New York Rangers tonight. I really hate stepping in front of the New Jersey Devils. This team is so phenomenal on both sides of the pot. For myself, I know how fast this one could go over that total. We will know this right away. I still have to hit the under here. I think this is a perfect situation where we can count on the defenses and the goaltending for this one to go under the total. My God, I'm realizing I'm playing a lot of totals today. I'm going to take the under Devils and Rangers under 6. With that, I might look at that first period under as well in that game. I think the first period under would be a nice way to take it. Now, the Anaheim Ducks and the Ottawa Senators, I got to take the Senators team total over 3.5 here. We know the Senators are able to get good offensive production going when they come out strong, and I'm accounting on that tonight. The Edmonton Oilers and the Minnesota Wild. Now, I'm going to take Fleury of the Minnesota Wild, his save shots on goal, over 27.5. I think that's my favorite prop bet of the night. We know Edmonton is going to be firing like crazy on Marc-Andre Fleury, and I think he can have a good game, save over 27.5 save shots on goal tonight. I like both teams to score in that first period at plus 135. For the parlay, I'm going to take Edmonton and the Wild over 1.5. If I can write here, over 1.5 in that first period. But if you're looking just to put like a single bet up, I would take both teams to score because you're getting plus money on that. You're getting, you're paying minus 174, 175, I believe it was this morning for that. over 1.5 in the first period. So straight up, I don't like it, but I think the over 6.5 is another solid way to take this game. I think we got another 4-3 style game here. Now, Kaprizov of the Minnesota Wild, I love him for that anytime goal, plus 110. We know the usual suspects on Edmonton. Their top lines are who is producing the most in the majority of these goals, so look at them for sure as well. And then the Nashville Predators and the St. Louis Blues. Give me the over 6.5 in this one as well. I think the goals come in nicely. I'd be looking at the team totals of both of these teams, whichever team you feel more confident in. I think the Predators probably get the win here on the road because I trust Saros more. For this, it's crazy. I can't believe I'm going to take another total. I'm going to take the Preds and the St. Louis Blues over the total of 6.5. I wish this was 6, and I did see a couple of 6s out there. So you guys go shop those lines, see if you can find any 6s, because I did see them. And it was only minus 118 for the over at 6. Now it's moved up to 6.5. So make sure you shop that. Head on over to Betstamp to do so. Let's just see here. My dog, no, he's an American Staffordshire, which some people say just like a pity. He's just a tiny version. The 6 minus 125 on DraftKings. I would probably pay the little bit extra to get the over 6 here on the Nashville Predators, St. Louis Blues. I think it's a safer way to go. You can at least get that push if we hit that 6 there instead of losing at that 6.5 if we only hit 6. So Lynn, thank you for jumping in with that. Just to recap that parlay, Calgary, Montreal under 6, the Penguins and the Stars under 6.5, the Devils and the Rangers under 6, the Senators team total over 3.5, Edmonton and the Wild. I actually wrote Deadmonton. That's the funny thing. First period over 1.5, and the Preds and the St. Louis Blues over 6.5. If you guys want my favorite bet of the day, it's got to be the Rangers and the Devils under 6. I know this is going to be either blown in that first period. We'll see it right away, or it won't be. But I do think we have two teams come out really strong. Defensively, Lynn, you are just the best coming in here, dropping that 6 at minus 120 on BetMGM. You guys, this is why we shop those lines. Such a huge difference between minus 120 and minus 125. You want to get those best values. You can shop them over at Betstamp. Use referral code Madden, or just have a great friend named Lynn who just drops it here for you guys. Okay. I think we've gone over everything. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here on Pocket with Joe. Let's make some freaking money today. I'm excited for these games on the ice. If you want my best players prop, I would look at Kaprizov for that anytime goal of the Wild. I would also look at Marc-Andre Fleury's save shots on goal over 27.5. Those are my two favorite props of the day. I think it's going to be a fantastic game on the ice between those two. You got that sudden revenge for the Wild back home on their ice. It's going to be fiery. I want to wish you guys all the best in all of your bets. Make sure you like this video. I appreciate it so much. Drop your comments below. Let me know who you are betting today, which teams you like the best, what your parlay is, even if you got two big favorites that you're liking here to get the win. Let me know. I want to see that. If I was going to put two favorites in a parlay, I don't know if I could even get there. The Senators would be one. But I think this is a really hard board. It would have to be the Senators and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Penguins aren't a huge favorite here. Trying to put two teams in a parlay that we would put together. But you guys, appreciate you and appreciate all of your wonderful comments coming in here. I want to wish you guys all the best. Fleury over. I love that. All the best to each and every one of you tonight. Keep smiling. Let's make some frickin' money. I will see you back here tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern for another Pocket with Joe. Bye, guys.